Scream for Me, Chapter 2. I began to shake even more as I began to hear her footsteps. I put a hand over my mouth and began to walk over to the window. The footsteps suddenly stop and I slowly turn around. I shakily hold up my gun ready to shoot and point at the door. There is a shadow blocking light from peeking in from under the door. The shadow moves away and the gun falls to my side. I open the window and glance back before jumping out. I run to my back fence and look back one more time. From one of the windows, I see a man staring at me with a very large, abnormal grin. I ignore the need to puke and jump my fence into the forest. Soon my feet were bleeding from stepping on rocks and sticks on the forest floor. I bit my lip and held back the pain as I ran through the dark forest. I gasp as I trip on something like a tree root and fall face first on the hard, cold ground. I hear a woman trot behind me and I try to turn around to see the person. As I try, a pain shoots through my leg and I realize I'm stuck. You poor thing. Maybe I should kill you, so you don't have to die by Jeff's dirty hands. I heard the woman say. I felt something cold touch the back of my throat. I closed my eyes and wait for the sharp object to pierce my skin. The feeling never came. I heard a deep voice. A deep, harsh voice, but I can't identify what the voice is saying. There was a thud and then the thing touching my throat is gone. I am suddenly lifted off the ground and my only reaction is to scream. I pound my fist into the person's back as I try to kick him as well. I felt something cold touch me, but I continue to scream my head off as if my life depended on it. I hear the person growl as they slightly push the thing against my skin. I bite my lip and stop struggling against the person's grip. The struggle was useless. I won't get anywhere with this, so I might as well stop. I let my arms and legs flop, and the person removes the object from my skin. I'm going to die by whoever this is. Then suddenly, as I calm down, I realize something. The person that was at the window, it was this person. And this person is the Jeff the Killer. I have been trying to stop this man, and here I am now, powerless against him. I feel like I shouldn't deserve to live right now. He's right here, and I can't do a thing. Time skip. I must have passed out because I don't remember anything after I realized who was carrying me. I slowly open my eyes, though my mind tells me I shouldn't. I blink several times before adjusting to the level of darkness in the room. I look around and try to get up, only to find out I'm strapped down to something cold. I struggle trying to figure out what it is I'm being strapped to. I soon realize that what I am held onto is a table. I stop struggling as I hear the sound of a door closing. I turn my head towards the sound as it echoes through the room. I watched as a man approached me, his footsteps echoing in the room. He wore black jeans with an open white jacket that revealed a black tank top underneath. His face, however, was more terrifying than anything I have ever seen. His skin was completely white, exactly like the pure white snow that has yet to touch the ground. His eyes were empty black holes, waiting to suck and prey. It was ringed in a fine layer of black. His smile, though, was completely horrid. It looked like the smile was cut into his face. This is the most disgusting creature I have ever seen. Well, if it isn't little, clumsy, stupid detective, said the man as the smile grew slightly larger. I started to shake lightly again, and amusement lit up in his cold eyes. Oh, don't worry. You will die, eventually. However, I believe in torturing you, stupid fools called detectives. It makes this game a little more fun, he said with amusement in his voice. He chuckled slightly as I furrowed my eyebrows in disgust. You are a demon, I said, and he burst into laughter. Thank you, but I prefer Jeff the Killer, he said, and I began to shake even more. He raises his knife and begins to make cuts on my arm. I bite my lip as tears start to surface to my eyes. As blood starts to flow from my cuts, he would smile and occasionally lick some of the blood dripping out of the wounds. I shiver whenever it happens and force myself not to puke. He makes a shallow cut in my stomach and I can't help but scream like there is no tomorrow. He licks his lips when he sees that blood is starting to flow from the cut. He sucks the blood and I can see that he likes it through his eyes. I bite my lip again and tears start to stream down my face. I hate this. I want it to end. I'm slowly losing the ability to stay awake and start breathing heavily, and I can't help but groan at the pain from my stomach. He lifts his head as if he was checking to see if I was still alive. I lay my head back, tired of looking to see what he was doing as a form of torture. I take in a deep breath and close my eyes. This man is horrible. I cannot believe that there are people out there that wish for the death of others. I heard a deep voice ring in my ears as I drift away into what I hope is death. Scream for me, he said in my ear. I shivered the thought was giving him any pleasure at all. It is a horrible thought to even consider it. Every bit of pain wasn't worth it when I could just die instead. I don't want to have to deal with all this, when I could just die right here. He's more than a demon. He's Satan. Chapter 3. I wake up sore and not wanting to move. Why didn't I die right there? At this point, there was no need to live anymore if I'm just going to be tortured. My notes are hidden, and once I die, someone will find them. However, if I give in to death, it'd be like surrendering to this man. I will never surrender as long as I am alive on this earth. I grab my stomach lightly and close my eyes to keep from seeing the next horror. I'm in so much pain that it feels like something is constantly clawing at me. I open my eyes hesitantly and look around the damp, dark room. I was sitting on a faded green couch that was more than a little bit torn. I turn over and see that the paint on the walls are peeling. I also see a wooden table accompanied by a wooden chair. On the table is a knife, a lamp, and a picture in a frame. The room has an offsetting feel to it. I start to feel uneasy quickly. I force my eyes shut and listen to sounds around me. There is nothing. It's completely silent. There isn't even the sound of wind blowing. I was going to try sitting up, but the pain in my stomach refused to let me. I begin to hear footsteps and I freeze. That demon is coming. I begin to lightly shake and can't help but let the tears start to form. I just wanted this to end. I'm going to die anyway, so why not now? I would move, but there is too much pain exuding from my stomach to even sit up. I hear the door open and I stop shaking. It would only give that monster enjoyment. I feel something cold grab my arm and I gasp. I calm down. It's only a hand. I feel goosebumps form on my arm when I'm picked up. My eyes shoot open as I stare down at the white fabric on his back. He starts to take to another room. I don't think before throwing a fit to get out of his grip. My efforts were wasted on nothing as he throws me onto the floor of another room. I feel something wet underneath me, but I ignore it for the moment. I turn and watch as he turned on the light before leaving. The walls are decorated with the dead bodies of men and women, and I realized I was staying in someone's blood. I crawl away. When I try to stand on my feet, I puke from the stench in the room. I fall to the floor and took in careful breaths in death's polluted air. I need to calm down, but I can't find the logic to do so, especially in a room like this. I close my eyes and this is nothing but a nightmare. However, when you wish for something to be a dream, it will be real, no matter what you do. No matter what you do. I cover my face with my arms to prevent me from seeing the horrid sights around me. I have no clue how long I was in there, but eventually I heard the door open and I looked up. Jeff smiles like the demon he is, and his eyes shine with amusement. He stopped in front of me before picking me up once again. I screamed and threw a fit until he hit the back of his head. He stopped walking and dropped me. I fell onto my back onto the cold concrete ground. I look up at the demon and see that his knife is out and at his side. The amusement in his eyes are now replaced with pure terrifying rage. I start to crawl backwards, but he grabs my ankle and shoves his knife between two veins. I scream in pain as blood trickles from my ankle to my foot. Tears surface in my eyes as he picks me up again. I close my eyes as pain takes over me once again. His footsteps echo throughout the dark hallway. We enter a room and he sets me down on that faded green couch. He looked down on me, glaring his way into my crumbling soul. I returned the same glare, although it was only a half-hearted try. After that, it seemed like only moments. He pulled the knife out of my ankle and I screamed as blood shot out the deep wound. I whimpered as he walked off into another part of the room, eluded by the darkness. Know this. I'm only doing this so I can torture you more. It's not so you can survive, he said coldly when he returned. He wrapped the wound lightly, then glared at me for a while, I'm sure expecting me to come up with some sort of comeback, but I was in too much pain. I closed my eyes and turned around, ashamed of myself. I heard a small laugh and footsteps. There was the sound of the door closing, and then it echoed in the room before becoming silent. I opened my eyes and stared at the back of the couch. It had a disgusting smell to it, but it was comfortable. I wondered how many people have died here. I shut my eyes and shake my head at the thought. I shouldn't think of such things. However, I cannot help how many people have died by him. How many more will die? Was there anything to stop a demon like him? Nothing came to my mind. At that moment, I wished for my journal, my notes, so I could possibly find some sort of weakness that he might have. I grabbed my stomach lightly as it lets out a small growl. I'm being tortured and I'm starving. This doesn't surprise me though. I suspected that I didn't want to get any food. However, the only other thing that would be worse than this would be hell itself. Walking in the burning pits with demons tearing off my skin as I walked by, other souls glaring at me as if I was worse than them somehow. Then sitting on his throne, ruling over the hellhole, is Jeff, the demon of all demons. In other words, Satan. This world really is nothing but a hellhole underneath the mask of painted white. Life is really nothing but a journey through the hell to get to heaven. Right now, I'm in the center of it, and it is worse. No one ever really makes it to the white gates until they die trying to reach a better life. The only people that don't trudge through the fires are those of the rich. They are practically the demons behind it all, unless they care for others. This is all life has ever been for any human. Nothing but a pointless journey that will end up in nothing but death. Is that all there is in this life? Nothing but pain and heartbreak for nothing but death? If so, then life means nothing in the end. It means nothing.